Alright guys, welcome back to another Catan video. So, I am actually recording this after playing the game, and the only reason why I decided to record this game was because I started casually playing with someone and they mentioned that they are familiar with my channel, so I figured it'd be a cool opportunity to, shout them out and whatnot. And so just to catch everyone up to speed, I took the 8-5-10 spot and the 9-6-4 spot, because that got me all 4 resources, and I just cut him out of all the ore. And he's overloaded on wheat, but he does have the wheat port, which is very helpful for him. And yeah, so overall, we're just playing, and now that I've already played this game, I can sort of go back and analyze what I did right or wrong. I think without a doubt, if I had let him maybe build on the 4, that 4 ore wouldn't be blocked as much, although in return that 6 wheat would be blocked, which doesn't really help us. And at this spot, I think I have the brick port that's looking really nice, so I probably should just go ahead and build around that. So it's good that we roll a 7 and I block his wood to stop him from expanding, but then he rolls another 7, which kind of screws us over. He takes an ore from us, which is very helpful for him. At this point, I decided to port all of my brick out for wood and just build another road to somewhere. And part of me was considering building on that 9-10 spot on the bottom, but I decided against it. Luckily, rolling a wood helps us, and here's where I feel that I should have just built another road. He got another 7, good for him, not so good for us. Steals wheat, and he's making a lot of progress. And so now I'll probably roll and put my road down, and again, small progress. And between this time, waiting for a 4, but no 4 rolls, a 6 does roll. And all we need is a 9, but 9s are not showing up. And more or less, it felt that pretty much every turn he was rolling some sort of a card, which is good for him. Not so good for us in our game. Finally, a 4 rolls. I think I should have bought a dev card. Don't really remember, but there we go. The mono comes into play, and that I think gives him a big advantage, because now he's overloaded on wheat. And as you can see, he rolled a 9 and the 6 and just has 5 wheat altogether. They can easily port for something. And of course, our numbers being blocked doesn't help us. We start getting a bunch of brick. Here's where I should have gone ahead and ported out for a night, but I didn't. So big mistake. I think I should have kept up for pacing. I should not have waited so long. If I had a knight the previous turn, I could have probably moved it by now before he even bought anything, but we get a VP, which isn't good. And with another brick, I think here I should have, again, built for something, but decided to hold off because we're getting close to a city. Finally, we rolled something, but blocking that 6 isn't really going to do anything for us. And so now I finally decided to go ahead and buy a knight, but decided to not build any roads, only because he can go ahead and steal our last ore, which we don't want. He steals a brick, which is good. And he could have taken the wood, but he doesn't. And he goes ahead and settles, which really hurts us. So he was running on insane production. So at this point, his game is looking pretty strong. He took both longest road. It'd be tough to beat that. And he's got the wheat port. And he's rolling a bunch of cards. He has a dev card in his back pocket. And again, it was hard to keep up with his pace. But we go ahead and connect for the longest road, which, yeah, sort of bought us more time, but not really. And again, you should have gone ahead and built a road here, but that's fine. I think in hindsight, I should have probably blocked the 9, but I know that if I'm fighting for road, I really need to make sure that he's not rolling wood. So again, another 7 on his end. And so the 4 is the best block, gets a brick from us. And all he needs is not a whole lot of cards to connect. So we move it off of us, but then gets the 8. And so here I just go ahead and don't do anything, which in hindsight I probably should have bought a dev card. And so again, another mistake. I should have secured army. I think this would have been a good spot, but I was really waiting for that 4. I figured it'd be better to settle, and yeah. Massive mistake, only because the dev card would have protected us, and as you can see with the knight, he's rolling a whole bunch of wheat and gets a dev card of his own, and we're just left standing and waiting for the longest road to be taken from us. So yeah, again, I think I made the right decision trying to fight for road. Getting a Year of Plenty basically didn't help us at all, and then him having the knight put it on the 4 and then basically blocking our ore like stopped us a lot. Like here, right? You get 4 ore blocked, or sorry, 3 ore blocked, and I rolled a bunch of brick, and I probably would have CD'd up by now, so had to use my Year of Plenty for that. And again, if you weren't blocked, I think I could have both CD'd up and bought a dev card. So that's one mistake. Our second mistake, I think, is the fact that maybe we should have CD'd up the 5, the 8 and the 5s, but look at that, another ore blocked from us. Right, so these were massive ore rolls that really hurt us. I'm a firm believer that if we were not blocked over here, the game would have turned out different. I think we would have taken a massive lead, and I think we would have secured army by now. Just because, look at that. So we rolled 2 wheat, and that would have bought us more dev cards or even a city again. So he gets Year of Plenty. He is now in full force. Look at the 8s and the 9s, and like I said, every turn he is able to get something, which is good. And so we finally have enough for a settle, but he also takes road from us, so it was the end of that. It would have been very tough to fight back, especially because we need to build 4 roads with the limited number of wood that we roll. We get enough for a settle, so that's nice, but I decided to just, I was thinking about it, you know, maybe should we fight for road? In hindsight, probably should have settled, though I don't think that would have made a difference. I believe that's the first time the 3 has rolled, or maybe the second time only, but at least the first time we benefit from it, and of course 4 being blocked doesn't help us. So again, we take army for a brief period, but you know, he's fighting really hard, and we're up to 9 points, but at what cost? I mean, look at that 8, you know, the moment you build to a 3-1 port, which he already has, like that 8's a free card as well. A free card plus 1 card, right? And so we really just got unlucky with the 4s, but it's surprising how he was able to keep a pace with dev cards without even having a single ore spot. And so I think at this point of the game, I basically mentally conceded. I was like, this is looking pretty impossible. I don't think I can go ahead and, you know, build for 5 more points, especially with him buying all the VPs, the 4 being blocked, and him just outproducing us by a lot. At least it felt like a lot. So yeah, at this point of the game, I more or less figured that we're gonna lose, but can we at least close the gap? I mean, the 6s and the 9s, again, were great numbers for him. Good numbers for us too, but insanely good for him. I mean, look at that, right? He got 4 cards, 3 of which he can port, and then right now. So 6 and 9 back to back, he's rolling 7 wheat, which is 3 cards of his choice. And soon enough, he just takes army. So finally, 1-4 block helps us actually. So if he hadn't moved it, who knows what would have happened. But I decided to just go ahead and city up and then buy another dev card. Couldn't really figure out what to do next. The road builder, I think, was very bad. I think a knight would have made it go longer, but yeah, that is the end of that. So the reason why I actually am recording this or commentating after recording was because I was at the airport, and so I was not planning on recording anything, but because this person mentioned that they were familiar with me, I figured why not, although there's a chance that they might have mistaken me for someone else. So if you are watching this though, please go ahead and comment so I know who you are. It would be amazing. And yeah, thank you so much for watching. Hope you guys have a good day, and I'll see you guys next time.